beats Baron Corbin with his signature move to win the United States Championship.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Oh my God. I loved that I felt complete shock with that result. And of course, this is just not the year for Baron Corbin at all. Funny enough, I bet, last pay-per-view, I bet against Baron Corbin. I lose. This pay-per-view, I bet for Baron Corbin. I lose. I cannot win with Baron Corbin.
I don't think anybody won with anybody for this match. I think anybody picked Dolph Ziggler to win.
Oh, yeah. We were all thinking he was just going to be nothing more than the guy who's taking the pin. I am very glad to be proven wrong with that one. I don't care what you say. I'm very happy with this one. I jumped and I'm just like, you know what? Stood up at Charlie's. I love it. Yes. Yes. Prove the world that you are amazing. Yes, you are.
Brian, your response?
Okay. I just want to let people know that this is my opinion of the guy. I'm not trying to bring down anyone else's. This is mine. And parental advisory for the next 3 to 5 minutes because I don't know if I can control myself.
You have been
Are we talking about the match or just like the mixture of the match and his promo?
I'm let me put this out there to begin with. The match was good.
It was good.
Okay. I don't have a problem with how long did the match go? 15 minutes?
About.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with the first 14 minutes of this match. It was great. My problem is with the actual person, not the winner. I've had a problem with the person since last year. Okay, because this is a pattern emerging with Dolph Ziggler the last 2 years. Okay?
It was 12 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay. So the first 12 minutes of this match, I enjoyed. Okay, the last 45 seconds could go fuck itself. That's it. That's it. I have a problem with Nick Nemeth, who, for those not in the know,
is Nikki.
Is the real name of Dolph Ziggler. Okay.
Nikki!
And the pattern I'm seeing disturbs me a little bit because it kind of seems like the WWE bowing to pressure from one of its superstars.
In what way?
Over and over and over again. Last year, Dolph Ziggler starts talking about leaving, not signing a new deal, whatever. He's complaining about his spot. He's complaining about the way he's used. Talks about, I'm done when my contract ends. Suddenly, he wins the Intercontinental title from The Miz. Which, basically, they brought that into a storyline, so it's organic, so it's like I was okay with it at the time. Okay, now, fast forward a year. Contract is coming up soon again. Okay, the last 3 weeks building up to the match, he does interviews with people saying, once again, I don't like how I'm being used. I should be in a better spot than this. I might not sign another contract. I might want out. All of a sudden, he's winning the United States title in a spot that makes no sense whatsoever to anything involved. Yeah, it's shocking, but not, in my eyes, a good kind of shock. And it kind of seems like the WWE bowing to pressure to keep Dolph Ziggler in the company. Okay? In my eyes, Nick Nemeth is a whiny little bitch for the last 2 years. And I would not be saying this 3 or 4 years ago when we first started saying the show, when we first started doing the show. I was on your side. Anytime Dolph Ziggler did something won a title or whatever. When he won the World Heavyweight title, when he cashed in, that entire house that we were at was jumping for joy.
I was crying because I was like, "Aw." I actually was debating on whether or not to go to that Raw after
Exactly.
Mania.
Everyone was happy for the guy. Now it's like, if there's one thing I hate in a person, it's just a whiner, a whiny little bitch. And in my eyes, Nick Nemeth is that 100% to the core. I would have said the same about Cody Rhodes before he left, if this happened. But I respect Cody Rhodes because he said he was going to leave. He said he was going to leave the company. He did leave the company. He's like, and now he's gone on to do so much better in ROH, New Japan, going all around, making all this money, doing good shit and whatever. So I respect that. I put Dolph Ziggler in the same league as CM Punk because I felt the same way about CM Punk before he left. The only difference was CM Punk was actually doing good that last year before he left, was putting on a show. Okay, Dolph Ziggler, I'm going to go Dean Ambrose on you right now. Okay, I don't think you're as good as what you say you are anymore. Okay, you were enhancement talent for the last year. Okay, you were Shinsuke Nakamura's first pay-per-view match on SmackDown. I forget what the pay-per-view was. Okay, that match was not good.
I believe it was Backlash.
That match was not good. It was not a good showcase of either of your skills. Okay, everybody was looking forward to that match. It disappointed. Okay, Bobby Roode. Everyone was looking forward to that match. Disappointed. Okay, and all of a sudden you're gonna be like, oh, I don't like the spot I'm in. You haven't earned the spot you're in this year. You haven't. Okay? You were given 2 jobs to do to make 2 guys look good, and you didn't. And Shinsuke Nakamura still hasn't recovered. That's probably because they put him in a feud with Jinder Mahal afterwards, and that didn't help anybody.
Much to my chagrin.
But, and here's the deal with this match. Okay. There were 2 people in that match that I feel deserved the victory more than a guy who all he does backstage is complain and talk about leaving. Well, guess what, buddy? Okay, I'm done. I'm done with Dolph Ziggler. Fuck Dolph Ziggler. Get him off of my screen. I don't care if he leaves. And they better have something big planned with this story that they've got going from the SmackDown afterwards. Because if they don't, I'm going to shit on this harder than I shat on Daniel Bryan. When I shat on him to you. Because the Baron Corbin, okay, wasn't just in the United States title versus the Intercontinental title match at Survivor Series. He won the damn thing. Mm-hmm. Bobby Roode was defending your brand in the main event. Dolph Ziggler, not even on the damn show. How does any of this make sense?
Well, the only explanation I can come up with is that, like you said, they're probably going to be, if they're smart, they're going to be setting up something around Royal Rumble time just to build up some new feud or some new storyline.
And I guarantee you he loses the first title defense he has. Because I feel it coming. It's the same thing as last year. They gave him the Intercontinental title to keep him there, and then The Miz won it 3 weeks later. Won it back.
Yeah, I hope this goes somewhere, but again...
And then immediately dropped off the radar again after that. This better not be another one of those, because I'm gonna call bullshit.
I'm gonna say
over.
I will actually agree with you if they actually do this. If they actually gave him the belt, he actually drops it on the floor and walks out, and I'm just like, people's initial reaction was, "Oh, does this mean he's walking out?" I'll just leave the question. I'll just have one quick question for you, Brian. If it actually is like, "Oh, you're giving me this to try and keep me to stay," well, no, you're trying to butter me up and to keep me to stay. I'm gone. If he actually does leave, would your opinion change a little bit in any sense?
I'd give him a little respect.
Like, it's basically like, like when you were explaining that, like, WWE's pretty much bowing to him to keep him to stay. Instead of like Cody Rhodes leaving, he's actually like, you know what? I have the system in my hands that are trying to keep me to stay. And I respect him for that. Yeah, he does complain a lot, and that's what gets him in trouble most of the time. That's why he's kind of been dropped off the radar a little bit, because it's like, oh, you're unhappy? Well, here's your punishment for whining about it online. And then it
makes no sense that
and then it just turns around. It's like, okay, well, good. You did a pretty decent job. In my opinion, I actually did like the Nakamura and Rude, because it wasn't just, oh, these new guys came in and it's an automatic squash because who they are.
Well, it's not even the fact that they weren't automatic squashes.
That's actually the complaint for most of the people. No, when those it may not be yours, but it's been a lot of that. I'm just like, well, remember on who the guy is. And yes, he does. Yes, I will agree. He does complain a lot. I'm not denying that at all.
My thing with those two matches wasn't that it should have been a complete squash match. I was like, neither of them look good. Nobody in those matches looked good.
Yeah, I was very disappointed by those matches. I recall
at all. It wasn't even like it wasn't one of those like, oh, Dolph Ziggler didn't give him enough offense. It's like, no, they both got perfectly fine amounts of offense. None of it looked good. That was my thing. It's like I'm watching and it's like, it's Shinsuke Nakamura and Dolph Ziggler. I should not be bored out of my mind right now, but I am. It's Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. I should not be bored out of my mind right now. And what the hell is that low blow finish?
and from what it's looking like, when they had the dark matches, they put on spectacular shows.
Exactly.
So, like, really, who's to blame for the actual on-air matches to be terrible? Or not even terrible, just not living to the expectations that we're all wanting to do. Or
blame
wanting
Road
it
Dogg.
to be. Yeah, blame Road Dogg.
I don't even know if he's the actual person to blame, but I choose blame
anything that's wrong with.
Is he still the head of Smack?
Yes.
Like the writing team?
Anything that's wrong with SmackDown, blame Road Dogg.
Blame Road Dogg.
It's just.
I respect Dolph more. The fact that he's like, okay, now, like, I'm not happy with it, but I still put on entertaining shows. The fact that they actually want me to stay, they're basically bowing to my whim. I actually respect him for that. It's basically showing, like, you actually are a talent worth staying for, except before they gave that option to Cody Rhodes, which they weren't giving really any option. Like, no, you're Stardust. You have to. The one thing I have to disagree with when it comes to Cody Rhodes is he's still kind of basically, like, he's gone. He is making a name for himself, but he's also he's still kind of being whiny about it. It's like, oh, WWE sucks. Why would I want to do that? Like, oh, just move past it, man. You're doing great on your own. Don't fuck it up by just being one of the whiny bitches that WWE sucks. At least he actually is dying down from that, and I'm like, okay, good. Move on. You're doing great. Get that 10,000 seat arena that you have.
Yeah, it probably mad more at the WWE, which is probably the correct answer. Okay, I'm mad at the WWE because this dude's slagging you off 3 weeks before you give him the title shot. Okay, he's slagging you off in the 3 weeks in preparation for this match in countless interviews. Okay, and all of a sudden you give him the title.
I
It
kinda-
doesn't. It